Welcome to the Veterans Corner. I'm very proud today to have with me John Griffin, who is the new Exalted ruler of the Mansfield Elks, Lodge 2633. Welcome, John.
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, more than happy to have you. It's very exciting. I've heard from numerous members of the Elks how excited they are about having you as the new Exalted ruler. You have a good reputation.
Thank you, thank you. There's a lot of great people down in the Elks. One of the reasons why I joined was because of all the community work that the Elks do, and working with the veterans, working with the children of the community. So that really attracted me to that. And then once I joined, the people were just unbelievable. It was just like a marriage made in heaven, you know. It was something I had to do.
Well, you're one of Mansfield's own anyways.
Yeah.
You grew up in Mansfield. Yep. And I know that you're sympathetic and appreciative of our veterans, being a veteran yourself.
Definitely, yeah.
Did you serve, what did you serve in?
I served in Special Force Police in United States Air Force.
Oh.
I loved it. I did my time. Definitely was a lot different coming from Mansfield and going into the military and doing things like that you have to train for. It was a great experience for me. Definitely taught me a lot of things about life and meeting different people of different cultures and different beliefs and bringing everybody to work together. You know, was a really amazing part of my military experience because it really helped me out after I got out of the military. I saw life as a different way, so it's very good for me. I very much enjoyed my military experience.
Were you always stateside?
I went to the Philippines for about 6 months, and then I got shipped back, and I was stateside after that.
Well, that was good.
Lackland Air Force Base, Indiana Springs, out in Nevada. So, you know, I did a little bit of traveling, and like I said, it helped me become a man. It helped me become a true human being, a true person, to see life in a different way, and also to be proud to serve my country as well.
That's great. And you mentioned training. Excuse me. Training shouldn't have been too difficult for you because I heard that you were quite a good football player in Mansfield High School.
You know, we all like to think we're great athletes, right? But I loved playing football, and I loved playing for Mansfield. You know, I really have a lot of pride into saying that I'm from Mansfield, even though I was born in Boston. I moved to Mansfield when I was like 13 years old, which was a culture shock for me. Culturally, I wasn't ready for it in the beginning. And to get involved with the Mansfield Youth Association with midget football and the Little Leagues and things of that nature where I grew up, they didn't have none of that stuff, you know. So once I got into the sports, I fell in love with it. I met some lifelong friends that we are still dear friends to this day. So I always said that Mansfield, Massachusetts, literally saved my life. You know, because I don't know what my future would have held for me if I never moved out to Mansfield, because I didn't have the opportunities that I had where I was until I moved out to Mansfield.
Oh, so that's really something.
Yes, very.
I just wish every child could have that opportunity.
Oh, yes, definitely. I was proud to play football for Mansfield. We weren't always that good. You know, our number one goal was to beat Foxborough. We lost them 4 years in a row in high school.
Oh, gee.
But the one thing that I'm proud of being a Hornet is that we never gave up in any game. Any game that we played, you knew you were playing in a game, and it's a tough game against Mansfield. So all records were not important to us. It was about the team and working as a team and giving 100% all the time. And our captains of the football team stressed that. Our coaches stressed that. So like you said, once again, I learned a lot from being part of a camaraderie as a team and working together towards a common goal. And even if you didn't reach that goal, you gave it 100% as a team. So
Right.
there was no personal loss. You know, you get personal frustration because everybody wants to win.
Of course.
You know, but you can't win all the time. But if you give 110%, and the next guy next to you is giving 110%, you know, it just gives you hope for the next game, and it gives you,
Right.
you know, more to look forward to throughout the season. So we were never a dejected team. We were always ready to play, you know. And I love Mansfield football, and I'm so happy with the transformation that Mike Redding and his football staff has done with the football program here, with the girls basketball. I mean, Mansfield athletics is leaps and bounds above where we were. So
Nice.
yes, it's great to see that. Makes
So
me
all
proud.
of this here, all of this sportsmanship and team playing through football and then in the military, you must be off and running with your team for the Elks.
Well, once again, you know,
They
when I
all-
was younger, I used to think about myself all the time. You know, I didn't know how to be part of a team. I didn't know that you had to trust another person with something that you valued, or trust that they would take care of you, or you know, things of that nature. And when I came out here, like I said, you know, football and the military, and with the friends that I have, my friends I consider family. I would do anything for them. Like when I joined the Elks, that was another team that I wanted to be on, and that I can sit here and say that I'm proud that it's my 6th year of being on this team, and I don't have to worry about retirement or nothing like I have to do with football,
Right.
or I don't have to retire from the military. I'm an Elk for life, and that's really makes me proud because of all the things that we do as Elks.
Yeah, and going up through the chairs to become the Exalted Ruler, you really had some difficult times with your back surgery,
Yeah.
and you toughed it out, and
Yeah.
you were very successful.
Well, you know, that was a trying time in my life. That was probably my first real crippling, you know, experience for me. As a person, I like to be active. I like to be doing things, you know, and when I first hurt my back, I had to have surgery, and I was down, and I couldn't commit to my responsibilities at the Elks, and I felt like I was letting the Elks down, and then I had a second surgery, and so I wasn't sure if I was gonna be an Elk anymore, because I couldn't give 100%, or I couldn't be there to do my responsibilities, and everybody else was. You know, when you do that, you make a commitment. Other people depend on your commitment. So,
But John,
it
I'm
was
also an
trying.
Elk, and I was at those meetings, and I saw you come in there. You could hardly walk, and you could tell you were in a lot of pain, and you just toughed that all out.
Like I said, it's not only a commitment that I made to myself, it's a commitment that I made to you and the millions of other Elks around the country. And when you commit to the Elks, you have to be 100%, because anything else is not necessary. It's not accepted, because we have a common goal in everything we do, and anything less than 100% doesn't give us the tools to be successful in what we're doing.
Right.
So it was time, and it pushed me to be there in pain, and it pushed me to have to sit down when I couldn't sit down, and you know, to grimace when my back was killing me and
I
everything.
saw it.
And yeah, it was rough, but it was worth it because it helped me get to the spot I am today.
Great. So what do you think about the veterans program that the Elks have? It's my understanding that actually the Elks started the first veterans hospital. And I was kind of surprised at that.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if I were you if the Elks had a hand in anything,
Yeah.
you know, because anything that can help a community or anything that's of a positive nature, the Elks seem to want to put their signature somewhere around it. As you know, you got the Field of Honor, and nobody can have that as long as you want to keep it there. Right. And it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life that's non-military, to dedicate that to somebody where just regular veterans who live in this town can walk down and appreciate if they can't go to Washington or see the wall, or they can't do that. You actually gave them a place to come, and you gave them a place to really feel proud that they served in the service. You know, a lot of people feel forgotten because they can't make it to places and be recognized for the services they did.
Right.
And
it's such a small contribution to sponsor a flag. And it's wonderful when I drive by and I see people walking through and reading the names. Some people I've seen crying, or people in there with their families taking pictures.
Sure.
You know, it is. So I'm very, very proud of that.
The Field of Dreams is a beautiful
Field of Honor.
Yes.
When I played baseball.
The movie was great too.
I know what it was.
But yes, the Field of Honor is a beautiful sight to behold when you have it all done and set up and the flags are set up. And the special part about that is that you made it so the veterans can enjoy it, but also civilians can enjoy and respect loved ones that are no longer there, and give them the honor that they deserve.
True.
By sponsoring a flag
and you
for
can sponsor
a very low cost.
Yes, and they don't have to be deceased. People have asked me that.
Right.
You know.
Right.
I have a veteran, but he's not dead yet.
Right.
It's like, they don't have to be.
Well, and like you said, right, it could be a hero, somebody you really admire, somebody you want to pay homage and respect to. So,
right.
You know, the Field of Honor is exactly what it is. It's a field honoring, you know, people who served, people who are still here, doing something very honorable that somebody wants to serve them and recognize them for the things they do.
And our firefighters, our first responders.
Yes, yes.
And we've done some great things. And the Elks have been a staunch supporter of the Field of Honor. They're gold level contributors every year, and we so appreciate that. But we had a woman vet that was living in her car with her daughter, and we were able to help her, you know, get situated into housing. We've had families that have severe illness and were kind of up against it. We've helped them, and we put $40,000 into our Veterans Fund over the years in Mansfield. This past year, we donated $1,000 to Foxborough, Easton, and Norton Veterans Funds. So we try to help everybody.
Like I said, the Elks would like to have a hand in anything that helps somebody else. You know, I've seen other organizations that they kind of put that persona like they're doing the same thing, but it's really about their organization, and you know,
Right.
and they're a lot more flashy, and you know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a rookie getting $1 million contract and he's never had money before, right? And now he
Right.
drives a fast car, and you know, with the Elks, like you said, uh, we had St. Patrick's Day
The vets, wasn't that nice?
with the
They love
vets,
that.
and I got to meet a few of those guys, and we exchanged hats, we exchanged different things, and I walked around to the table and I talked to each and every last one of them, and I thanked them for their service, and I didn't even bother to tell them that I was in the service, because of the simple fact that their situation is so much harder, and there's millions or more just like them, right? So I feel blessed that, you know, that I could sit there and do that, and I almost felt guilty that because I was in the service and I'm, you know, I don't really have the
whole.
problems that they have.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So kind of, you know, catch-22. You're very proud, but when you see stuff like that, you know, it just breaks your heart. And the things that you do with the veterans, with the food drives and clothes, and you know, Stop and Shop gift cards, and the dinners, the breakfast, like the work that you put in is phenomenal, and the people that you have working for you are phenomenal, and anything that you do, the Elks would want to touch, because it seems like everything you do with the veterans
Well, thank you.
turns to gold. So
But I couldn't do it without the people that I have that help me. You know, none of us stand alone.
exactly, and once again, you go back to the team, right?
Exactly,
If you got
yeah.
a good team and you give
Right.
100%, you get great things.
Uh-huh.
And the veteran organization is a great organization, and you're doing great things, and I know you'll continue to do great things. So I'm proud of you, and I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for
the
keeping me on
things
your
that you
team.
do. Always, always.
Now, what do you think going forward now with the Elks? Do you have like a dream of any specific thing that you'd really like to accomplish this year?
You know, I was kind of overwhelmed about with a lot of emotions, because you know, I knew this time was coming, but at the same time, my emotions didn't allow me to think of what I wanted to do. It was so much going on, so much going on.
Well, I know you woke up the hoop shoot.
You know, the
really
hoop
brought
shoot,
that out in the light.
we worked hard at the hoop shoot. We got our first state champion out of it.
Right.
And he went to regionals where, you know, he performed well at regional, and we ended up with like over 150 kids, I believe it was, working with the
Wow.
Mansfield Youth Basketball Association. So I hope that me and Jim Burke can continue that success when this time comes around again next year. But the thing that I really want to focus on as far as being an Elk is I really would like everybody to swear by what we took as an Elk, you know, and with the charity and the justice and the brotherly love and fidelity, because the goal that we have, if we do not live by those words, you know, we won't accomplish them. You know, we can't accomplish things doing stuff 50%, because, you know, there's some days that some people don't want to do this, or some people don't want to do that, or some people wants to do this. That happens with everything. Like we're a family, so you know, sometimes family wants to do different things, right?
Right.
So I think that's really my main goal, is to try to instill
The principles?
happiness and the principles, and you know, laugh all the time. And it's just, everything's frustrating because we're all volunteers, right? Everybody does this, and everybody has a life. So it gets extremely stressful, you know?
Right.
And for me, I find that just smiling and just letting stuff shrug off and, you know, laugh about things, it just eases me so much, and it makes me feel I can take on the world. So I don't care what's coming. I wait for it to come because I know it's coming. There's nothing I can do about it, right? If I laugh, at least I'll be able to handle it, you know. And when you're tense and upset and nervous and stuff, it just makes it harder to deal with things. So I really like to bring us together more as a whole. I'd like to concentrate on that, and also I would like to get more involved with the community, doing more things with the kids. You know, we do the hoop shoot. We used to do a soccer shoot. We didn't get a lot of participation with that.
And we have the scholarships.
Yes, we do. We do the scholarship program. You know, we do the senior breakfasts.
Speaking of things coming, your biggest fundraiser, the carnival, is coming up in about what
May 3rd, I believe it is, right? The weekend of May 3rd, which our last few years we've kind of got hit hard with bad weather.
Right.
And that's one of our major money makers, to be able to do the things that we do, right? So,
so mark that date on your calendar, people.
Yes,
May 3rd, 4th, 5th, and I believe the 6th.
With fireworks at the end.
Yep, at the Xfinity Center.
At the Xfinity Center. Please bring your children down, support the lodge. That money that we make from the lodge helps us do all the things that we do in the community.
Right.
So it's our biggest money maker. That and I think that's where stress comes from, right? Because we have all these different things that we do, and last couple of years, our carnival just got washed out by weather. So now we're rushing around, and we do all right. We rush around and we figure out other ways to survive until we can get back to the carnival. And we do a great job at that, and that's the part where I was talking about the stressful, because I thought that the carnival failure, as far as what we expected, you know, it put a lot of pressure on everybody at the lodge.
Right.
Right, because we weren't be able to ask for help to do this foundation or this one, and we don't have the money for that. So, and usually it'd be no problem, but these last couple of years we've been having a little bit of problems, and this year so far, you know, thank God I've seen the turnaround because of the fish fries. You know, because you'll bring the veterans in, and the members would come in, and then the members would stick around, and they would support the bar, or they would figure out something to do.
Right. We've had musical bingo.
Musical bingo.
All these new things this year.
Yes, arts and crafts. So, you know, we've really been busy and diligent on bettering ourselves as a lodge, you know. So
I think you're going to do a fabulous job. Well, I think we've had a great talk today.
Yes.
And I want to remind everybody of the Mansfield Elks Carnival, their big fundraiser, and also the Field of Honors. You still have time to sponsor a flag up until May 1st, and we'd love to see your hero's name on one of our flagpoles. And we'd love to see you down there too.
That would be excellent.
John.
Thank you very much for having me, Jerry.
Really
and if I
enjoyed
could say one more thing before we leave, just for all the fans and everybody watching the show, we keep your eyes out, because we do have open house day down at the Elks, which will give the community opportunity to come in, see what it's all about.
Right.
Anybody out there retired, or they're home, or you know, they look for things to do, we got plenty of stuff that we do with around the community and in our own home. You know, we're always looking for good people. So if anybody's watching, you're more than welcome to come down and visit us down the Elks. You're going to meet great people, and you can come and check out our application, and something might catch your eye that you might be interested in. And And then you'll get to see Jerry live in person.
Thanks. John, thanks so
Thank
much.
you so much, Miss Jerry. I love you. You're
I
great.
love you too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mansfield Cable, for our program again. And we look forward to seeing you the next time.